Today's dish is called Chaeran, beef and vegetables steamed in eggshells. It is court food which requires much care in the preparing process. The final product is steamed and has the shape of an egg. An ordinary egg makes such a unique dish. Korean Food Story introduces traditional Korean egg dishes. Eggs are used in many different recipes, and they are easy to cook. Now, let's make today's dish, Chaeran.
안녕하세요. Hello everyone. Thanks for joining us on More Than Kimchi. I'm Young. Today we are going to learn a dish called Chaeran, beef and vegetables steamed in eggshells. This is an unusual and surprising dish that you will find a lot of fun. Now let's welcome Mrs. 이동순, our cooking instructor today. 선생님 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
오늘
반갑습니다.
재밌는 요리 부탁드리겠습니다.
네.
Also, I'm happy to have Melanie Billings here with us as our guest. Hello,
you.
Melanie. Thanks for coming today. So we are making today chaeran, which you have a lot of ingredients stuffed in eggshells. Can you imagine that?
This, of all the dishes we've done in More Than Kimchi, is the most mysterious. I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's find out. First, we will take a look at the ingredients. Here I have, of course, eggs, because we need not only egg, but the eggshells. That's a very important part for this dish. And I have ground beef, cucumber, carrot, and two kinds of mushrooms, 표고버섯 and 석이버섯, shiitake mushrooms, and stone mushrooms. For seasoning the beef and 표고버섯, I have soy sauce, chopped green onion, chopped garlic, sugar, pepper, and sesame seeds, sesame oil, and salt for cucumber, and vegetable oil for stir-frying the vegetable. So that's the ingredients we're going to use today. 시작하죠, 선생님?
네.
Let's start now.
자, 체란이니까 달걀을 먼저 좀 깨야 되는데.
So it's chaeran, which is beef and vegetables and eggshells. We also use the egg, of course, but getting those eggshells the right way is important. So soon we'll see what we're going to do with the eggshells.
Okay, so she chooses the smaller of the two ends.
So the pointy part, with your egg, and then you gently make a hole, and then start break the shell to make a nice size hole at the top.
Okay.
Can I take a look yours?
I have a
Yeah,
hole.
that's good. After you make a hole, you gently break around. And you have about less than an inch hole at the top of your egg. You're getting there. But be sure not to hurry with this dish. You just do it gently and break away those shells and then make a nice, about 2 centimeter diameter hole at the top of your egg.
Mrs. Lee, can I see the hole in your egg? Oh, I want to go a little
Right.
bit bigger than I've got then.
Right there.
Okay.
So after you make the hole, you spill out those inside, the egg yolk and egg white. And later, of course, we will use this. But first thing is we need to prepare the eggshell to stuff in.
This reminds me of when at Easter we would sometimes blow the egg, take the insides out of the egg.
In order to do that, you have holes on both sides. But for this dish, because we are making sort of larger hole than what you would do, you don't need to make a hole on the other
This
side.
is a little bit easier.
Yeah, looks
There
pretty
it
good.
goes.
There. That's good. So we made eggshells that's ready to put something in. That's what we're going to do. Looks very
커도
good.
돼요.
And it can be slightly bigger, Melanie. That will be easy later for us to put something inside. After you make a nice size hole, you will rinse with the fresh water, clean inside. Then the eggshell is getting ready to be used.
네, 이걸 말리세요. 물기를.
So you rinse with the water and then turn it upside down so to clean it, to dry inside of the egg. So that's how we do with the egg.
자, 이렇게. 자, 오이도
오이를
채를
먼저
썰고요.
할까요?
예, 오이, 요거 전부
예.
채를 썰어야 되거든요.
예.
그래서
So
자,
for
예.
vegetable part, the cucumber and carrot we'll make into nice strips, and then later we will cook the beef and mushrooms. You get the easier part.
자, 껍질 쪽만.
Yeah. So when you use, as Mrs. Lee does, only use the outer layer of cucumber because it always has a cruncher texture.
I think for
And-
those who have become regular viewers of More Than Kimchi, we're
You
beginning
know
to
it.
understand these
Yes,
rules
right,
now.
Right. And you know what the next step is going to be then.
I surely do.
And with the carrots, of course, you will make the same shape as cucumber, which you make a thin slice and then make into strips.
그래서 채를 썰어.
채를 썰어야 되겠죠, 선생님? So cucumbers, you use outer layer of the cucumber and then only the greener part, and inside you don't have to use it. For carrots, you make a thin slice and then make into strips. Oops, too big here.
자, 오이에다 소금을 좀 뿌려줄게요.
After you finish the cucumber into strips, you will sprinkle it with a little bit of salt and let it sit for a while. And as you know, we'll take out the liquid, right?
The beginning is like the beginning of many Korean dishes
Yeah.
we've worked on, but I just
Right.
keep wondering where these eggshells are going to be coming in.
We'll soon find out. So the vegetables, we have carrots and cucumber. You're going to cut into thin strips. Also with the 표고버섯, which is shiitake mushrooms, you will do the same thing. There. All right, put the vegetable. Melanie, would you put my carrots over
will.
there? And for 표고버섯, which is you buy as a dry forms, you soak it in hot water, take out the stem, and then make the same kind of strips. So there, that's 표고버섯. So what you do with the 석이버섯, the stone mushroom, these have been soaked in water already. You roll them, because that makes it easier for you to slice. You're doing a good job, and use your knife all the way.
Well, yes, last time I didn't realize how hard you have to press. I think there's there's a reason they call them stone mushrooms. You have to fight your way through this little rock.
And they're cut into nice strips. So we have carrots, we have cucumber, and 표고버섯, which is shiitake mushrooms. And here Melanie and I are working on the stone mushrooms, which is 석이버섯.
There, they're actually in
Looks
strips
very
this
nice,
time.
yes. Put next to yours. And with the 석이버섯, usually we don't season. We'll just stir fry very briefly. So I'll add my stone mushroom next to you.
자, 요거를 거기다 같이
같이
넣을게요.
넣죠. So carrots being sliced thinly, and cucumbers sprinkled with the salt, and let it sit for a while.
자, 그다음에 양념장을 만들어 할게요.
Next step is we need to make a seasoning sauce. I introduced all the seasonings before. The seasoning is for the ground beef and the 표고버섯, shiitake mushroom. So you have soy sauce, and then a ground little bit of sugar, chopped green onion and garlic, and sesame seeds, pepper, and then sesame oil. So these are the basic seasoning. For
I
any
noticed
Korean food, it's really good.
That in Korean food, you almost always treat mushrooms and beef just the same.
Yeah, and mushrooms, particularly 표고버섯, the shiitake mushroom, is quite a good combination with beef. So we basically sometimes even cook together or season the same way. Goes very
고기
well.
좀 주시겠어요?
And then here's we have the ground beef, same seasoning as 표고버섯. They go very well
And it's
together.
really just a couple of ounces here,
Yeah,
a really
right.
tiny amount. You don't
Right.
have to use a lot of
We
meat
don't
in
have to
Korean
use a lot of
cooking.
meat because, as you can tell, we have a lot of different ingredients using together. So each portion don't have to be a whole lot. A little bit of beef, a little bit of carrot, a little bit of mushrooms, and then we'll all mix together. 그럼 이제 다음에 요거를 해야 되겠죠, 선생님?
그다음에 요거는 소금 있는 거를
네.
좀 짜주세요.
So 표고버섯 and ground beef's been seasoned with the same seasoning. It's all ready to be used. The next step is the cucumber that we prepared already before. You sprinkled it with the salt, and the next step is to squeeze out the water, so you can have a nice crispy cucumber skins.
Doesn't take very long. You know, it
Doesn't take
seems like
very
a lot
long.
of steps when you
Right.
describe it, but in reality, you can do it in just a matter of minutes.
And the only thing I think you need to acquire is this chopping skill. That's
That's
the only
right.
thing when you cook Korean food. So cucumber, while we are preparing other ingredients, it's already have those salting process that you can squeeze out the excess water. You call that what? The salting process?
Sometimes we call it sweating
That's
because it pulls out the liquid onto the
That's
surface.
right. Yeah, sweating maybe. But you sprinkle the salt, let it sit for a while, and squeeze out all the liquid. And then you have a nice crispy green cucumber skins. There.
석이버섯
그다음에는,
채 썰은 거
네.
먼저 주시고요.
Yes.
그리고 나머지는 식용유에다 볶아줄
네.
거거든요.
Right.
그쪽에 식용유
Yeah.
좀 넣어주세요.
So basically, if you want to turn your stove on, the thing that we have left is all these prepared vegetables and mushroom. We're going to stir fry with a little bit of
Okay, I'm
vegetable.
on.
Okay. And I'll give you a little bit of vegetable oil. A little bit of spoon here. So wait until your pan is hot. Put a little bit of vegetable oil. Then we'll start stir frying the vegetables all separate. Would you like to start with
Now
the
this
cucumber?
one, she just cooked with nothing. Cooked it dry.
That's the exception only with the stone mushrooms. Stone mushrooms, you just stir fry without oil, with a hot pan, just briefly about a minute or so. But your pan is getting hot, you will use your cucumber. And again, high heat, about a minute, less than a minute, you can just stir fry. And as you can see, we cook all the different ingredients separately. We don't mix all together. So Mrs. Lee here is cooking the carrot strips. And the only thing you're going to do is sprinkle a little bit of salt. That's all for the seasoning. And cucumber already has a salt flavor, so we don't have to add anything on top of the cucumber. So we are ready with the black mushroom, which is stone mushroom. Carrots over here. We have also cucumber
these are
strips.
done.
Yeah, aren't they nice colors?
You just wait with the cucumber until
Yeah.
the color gets bright and
That's
you're ready
right.
to go.
Then you take out, and you don't have to cook them. The idea is not really cooking. You just stir fry briefly, which actually makes the texture a lot crispier and kind of crunch when you chew. So that's kind of nice. So the thing that we have left is now cooking the beef and the mushrooms.
자, 요거 볶아주시고요.
Melanie, you're gonna do those 표고버섯, which is shiitake mushrooms. I'll give it to you over there. And then on that side, ground beef. This one again, you don't need to cook too long. It's been already seasoned, the same as the beef seasoning, same seasoning for mushrooms and then the ground meat.
And it has a little bit of oil in it, so we don't need to add much more.
Not too much. It has a basic soy sauce, chopped green onion, chopped garlic, and salt and pepper, and sesame seeds and sesame oil. Those are the basic ones. Well, let's add over here, Melanie. I'll move
Okay.
it over here. Then here we have 석이버섯 and carrots and strips of cucumber, which has been salted. Squeeze out the liquid, and then you stir fry.
So the beef, the quantity, it's just like one of the garnishes, really.
Yes, it's the same as any other ingredients we have over here. That's good. 다 됐죠? 선생님? 다 같이 놓을까요, 선생님?
그렇죠.
So we have 3 ingredients already prepared. Here we have 표고버섯, shiitake mushrooms, stir-fried, seasoned the
nice
same
smell.
as beef, and then stir-fried. There. Okay, and then ground beef. So we have 5 ingredients ready. We like the number 5. You already learned, Melanie. So here's
right.
5 different ingredients, 5 different colors here.
재료를 식혀주세요.
And before we do the stuffing to the eggshell, we need to cool it off a little bit. So 5 different ingredients already here.
자,
I'll put it
그다음에
down.
여기다가 아까 계란 풀어놓은 거
네.
여기다가 우리
이걸 다 집어넣을까요?
재료
And remember the
손질된 거.
egg that we reserved before?
Yeah.
We're going to put all the ingredients we just prepared and mix it together. So basically it's an egg dish. The main ingredients is egg. But in order to make it a little bit more fun, we have other 5 different ingredients we are adding.
But if we take all the eggs out of the eggshells and then we add all those other things, how are we going to get them back into the
we'll see.
eggshells?
Let's find that out. So here we have egg, and then we have 5 different ingredients we just prepared. We add it all together. This looks like it's almost like egg custard, but egg custard basically you don't have other vegetable or ingredients pudding, but we are adding egg custard. In egg custards we have a lot of different vegetables inside.
Does that mean that you could make it in a small custard cup
I
if
think
you
so,
wanted to?
yeah. I mean, one thing, this is fun for us to stuff into the eggshell, but if you like to do it in a little bit easier way or less fun way, let's put it that way, then you can just use small custard cup would be fine to do the same cooking procedure, but different way of preparing. So there's the egg, mixture of egg with the vegetables and the ground beef.
자, 이거를 자극적이 드릴게요.
So when you do this dish, try to make the whole nicer size. If it's too small, it'll be a little difficult for you to stuff it in.
Okay, so we just start picking up the vegetables and dropping
and then
them inside,
put it
huh?
inside, and later we can add a little bit egg with your spoon too. This is really fun. You get to do with your children at home. They will really like this activity.
How full do I want to get it with the vegetables before
You would
I
like to fill about a little over than 2/3 of your eggshell. So fill the ingredients about up to about this much, and then we get to steam it. So this is basically a steamed dish. You know, so we call a dish called sun, which refers to the main ingredient you're going to stuff with something, and then you steam. So it's one of those a sun dish we would say.
이렇게 채운 거를요.
So now all the egg shells are filled with the ingredients we prepared. The next step is to steam. As I mentioned, this is a sun 요리, sun dish that where you need to stuff, and then the next step is steaming.
You know,
Kind
it's
of cute.
interesting the way that you steam here. She just puts an upside down bowl with a plate on top of
Yeah.
it. And a lot of people think they need to buy fancy steamer racks or whatever.
Right. So if you don't have a steamer at home, this is one way to steam your food.
네, 이렇게 움직이지 않게요.
So we have 4 stuffed eggshells that's inside of the steamer, and we get to steam for about 15 to 20 minutes.
네, 약한 불로 쪄주세요.
So when it's like making egg custard. You don't want to use really high heat. The same way, you need to boil the water, but gentle boiling, and then gentle cooking, actually, in a low heat. So once you steam, we'll show you how it turned out there. So we prepared before. Can I pass this over there?
Sure.
So these are egg already steamed. I'd like to show you the inside. Kind of nice.
Oh,
See, it's basically an egg custard, but we have a lot of vegetable inside. So we get to peel these now. I pass you.
We don't serve them in the eggshell.
Actually, maybe you will. Your children will like that, you know, to break your egg. You can do that, or to make it a little bit neater, you can peel the eggshells.
I mean, it might be a cute presentation to let the guests do
yes,
it.
yeah. So this is one way you enjoy egg. And you know, they talk about cholesterol a lot about eggs, but this would be also wonderful, you know, food you serve for your brunch. You know, egg and vegetable, it sounds a lot nicer than just a plain egg.
The shell comes off really
Very
easily
easily.
because I suppose because you oiled it in advance.
Right. So those are the important thing when you do this dish. Make sure you oil the eggshell, inside of the eggshell, before you stuff it.
This is great. It's like a
very
boiled egg, but it's full of little
Yes.
surprises.
Looks really like an egg. Interesting there. Oh, how pretty. So here, now we finally finished our chaeran. How did you like today's recipe?
Well, I have to admit, it takes a little time. I'm not going to run out and do it, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun making it. Now let's review our cooking procedure.
Eggs are a wonderful food. They have various nutrients and they are used in many different recipes. Eggs are a perfect food. Eggs are cooked in many ways both in the Orient and the West. What kinds of Korean egg dishes are there? Dried pollock is torn into small pieces and stir-fried in cooking oil. Tofu, green onions, and seasoning is added, and then water and eggs are cooked to make soup. The special taste of gaerantang, or egg soup, comes from the savory taste of the soup. Eggs have a characteristic of hardening when heated. Gaerantang is a dish that uses that characteristic. Eggs are cooked in this way to make main dishes. Many times, they are used as additional ingredients. Gaerantang is a soup, whereas jangjeorim, beef stew and soy sauce, is a side dish. Beef is sliced and boiled in water with seasoning. Boiled eggs, or quail eggs, are added, then braised. When making jangjeorim, garlic is sliced, but sometimes whole garlic is added. Even though garlic is used, the odor and flavor of garlic is not strong. The taste combines well with the beef. Quail eggs are much smaller than eggs, but they contain 3 times more vitamin B. They are boiled and eaten with salt, or added to other dishes. Steamed eggs are another Korean egg dish. Eggs possess the essential amino acids and they are good with vegetables. Chaeran, or steamed eggs, is garnished with vegetables and mushrooms. Koreans have always enjoyed this dish. It has a unique taste when seasoned with fermented shrimp sauce. Add eggs to prepared ingredients and then steam it. Koreans often use eggs as a garnish because of their color. The egg yolk and white is separated to make yellow and white garnish. When added with other garnish, they provide nice bright colors. Chaeran is enjoyed for its simple taste. It is said to be nutritious to eat 1 egg every day. Different cooking methods result in various tastes and shapes. Even with the same ingredient, different countries create various dishes.
I hope you like the story about many egg dishes. Now let's taste our egg dish, which is Chaeran, beef and vegetables in eggshells.
Well, this is really an interesting dish.
What a
so
treat.
Let me just be the first one to try it here.
드세요. Yeah. But also, Chaeran used to, in old days, serve to the king. That's why they have all the fuss-making egg shape. You will literally do anything to please the king. So this is a traditional palace dish.
It's like in Europe, they would stuff whole peacocks and serve it to the king.
Same idea.
In the West, we have so many egg dishes because we love eggs too. We have fried eggs, scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, baked eggs, even œuf salé. But never before have I had an egg put back into the eggshell.
Not only just the egg, you have other delicious ingredients together. It's very nice. You have to have some more. How was the taste, Melanie? Is it different from the eggs?
It was a lot like an egg.
So it can be a good breakfast or brunch dish, or it can be a nice appetizer, or even a main dish as a side dish.
I think a very cute brunch dish.
And or your Easter dinner would be interesting. 그죠, 선생님? 이게 선디시잖아요.
네,
다른 게
찜요리죠.
또 뭐가 있습니까?
우리나라는 뭐 오이라든가 호박을 이용한 그런 선요리가
네,
있고요.
네.
근데 요거는 달걀 이용해서 달걀 모양 자체로 나온 거죠.
Yeah. I was telling you a couple of times this is a sun dish, which is a steaming, cooking method is steaming. And we also use eggplants or zucchinis or gajisan or hobaksan. So there are many other vegetables we actually use to stock with different ingredients and then steam it. Always makes a good appetizer.
Actually,
to
that
cook them.
steaming is a good point. A lot of people are worried about the fat and cholesterol in an egg, but you cut down on it by steaming it instead of
Right.
frying it or
That's right.
scrambling it in butter.
You need to try with your son. I know he
Yeah.
likes the omelette.
My-
See if he likes a steamed egg with different vegetables.
My son loves any eggs, so I'm sure he'd love these, but I don't want to let him know about it because he'd want me to make these every night.
So today we made a traditional palace dish called Chaeran. I'm sure you found it quite unique. Why don't you try it, as Chaeran would make a fun appetizer for your next special event. Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
안녕히 계세요.
안녕히 계세요.